Distinguished delegates, I would like to invite you to turn to sub-item 2A of the provisional agenda for the session, election of the President of the Conference of the Parties at its 23rd session. You may recall that in accordance with Rule 22, Paragraph 1 of the draft Rules of Procedure being applied, the office of President of the Conference of the Parties is subject to rotation among the 5 regional groups. We now continue the cycle with a president nominated by the Asia-Pacific states. It gives me great pleasure to propose that the conference elect by acclamation His Excellency Mr. Frank Bainimarama, Prime Minister of Fiji, who will serve as President of the conference at its 23rd session. I declare His Excellency Mr. Frank Bainimarama elected President of the 23rd session of the Conference of the Parties. I congratulate His Excellency on this election and wish him every success in guiding the work of the conference. I now invite His Excellency to take his seat on the podium.
Can you look at us again? Thank you. Once again, please. Moving. Tama.
Wow! Oi, oi.
Watura sati gana.
Oi, oi.
Matantu watura ngo chamani. Nekana minister ni environment.
Wow! Oi, oi.
Tamba kata kaya ngarapa. No, pi kambul eno tokono. Kamu na ngo samila besa kati matamani. Namarama ni minister. Gosa kana kemi ninggalo be watura. Ay bari de kita tayo na waka solo solo tiko. Muni sebuti kina na mataka sa kanila ko. Ano ra kamu nga? Na president ni COP23. Na liu ni matin tu biti. Non ra manua. Na tena. Ngoni turang ambala ro tiko ba. Ito kini bilbo. Marau obiti. Kalunga to obiti. Iradi tigain. Kanui taki. E bagara taki na kana rotin. Na kana liu taki. Na kana sangai me maroroi. Se sangai me baka bilang taki. Na bibi saunin raki. Sa tarikan sa sakanin to raka. Enda ta kabaraukin. Malamu na boss ni kamunang. Na kemu ninggolo be turang. Bari de talen nung siu. Bikimi na matan sinu ko. Sa tabi sa katiyan mo turang. Kaya be puno sa tapura ka toman dahil kanya bulim. Aso soratu.
Ué!
Urusaka.
Yo! Lagi libat cari na batu ni Banua. Na inggalang kalau biar keturangan. Na yau, ita mo na may naroron sila ni buwa, may na Banua. May kumbuna, may burang basangan, may namatan ni tubi laman ni katawat. Na inggalang kalau biar, na yau biar keturangan. Gana-gana tuanin raya. Naisip-sip mo ba katurangan? Dambo, kinamatan tuod siya mani. Kinaga-minister, may balit siya na bibisyo dragi. Sa Novatono, naroron siya banan ko. Gana-kainagi ba katurangan? Sara ba kinongorgi mo ni mga kinamatan tuod? Dan rin ba katurangan? Ito na dan rin ba katurangan na rokot tuyo ba? Sanokot, sangat tuloy. Sa sobrang durigi, tanim tuyaw, nan ko na, pumuto na lang ito turangan, inang doon, ngayon sa saba. Sa labit siya tayo kay Kilomalang, meron ng kayo pakalungat tayo na may, nabitaman ni Mayata, minayado, nalamyan lumiyan ni Bitutuk na laway bura-bura, don roro, Deverno yata ng rotin nila bilutali na lantamatan tulaman. Sirin din namate, wasay repa naman rin bitutu. Susok ng mga napayokani, nandan napayokani, galang takalubatan ng mga nakaristo, nandotola. Mana? Hindi na. Ako, ayo. Ayaw na ako na. Kenapa kali? Naturi. Nak. Bingon ko rabi nagaturangan sa rabaw na bimblow. Saan kayo ba tunay yaw lebu? Kanagaya ako na pagkaturang. Lose. Poindonu.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, Bulobinaka, and a very warm welcome to the Mbula Zone. It is a great honor for Fiji to receive the baton from Morocco of the Presidency of COP and assume the responsibility for implementing the Paris Agreement and prepare the way for more ambitious climate action. From one of the most climate vulnerable regions on Earth, I bring you the greetings of the Fijian people and all the Pacific Islanders, and our collective plea for the world to maintain the course we set in Paris. The need for urgency is obvious. Our world is in distress from the extreme weather events caused by climate change, destructive hurricanes, fires, floods, droughts, melting ice, and changes to agriculture that threaten our food security. All consistent with the science that now tells us that 2016 was a record year for carbon emissions. All over the world, vast numbers of people are suffering, bewildered by the forces ranged against them. Our job as leaders is to respond to that suffering with all the means available to us. This includes our capacity to work together to identify opportunities in the transition we must make. We must not fail our people. That means using the next 2 weeks and the year ahead to do everything we can to make the Paris Agreement work and to advance ambition and support for climate action before 2020. To meet our commitments in full, not back away from them, and to commit ourselves to the most ambitious target of the Paris Agreement, to cap the global average temperature at 1.5 degrees Celsius over that of the pre-industrial age. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, by aiming for 1.5 degrees, we are setting ourselves a serious challenge. But it provides us with a mission. It engages our capacity for ingenuity, for organization, and sheer hard work. And who knows what we might achieve when humanity's capacity to innovate is unleashed. What we do know is that if we don't rise to the challenge, we will definitely fall short and expose our people to more risk, more destruction, and more suffering. That is why Fiji has been so determined to help build a grand coalition of governments at every level: society, civil society, the private sector, and faith-based organizations, and to connect this effort to as many of the 7.5 billion citizens of the planet as possible. We must make this effort more relevant to people's lives, which is why in the next 2 weeks, we are giving much more emphasis to the Climate Action Zone, the Bond Zone. And to enable me to be present there and meet the many thousands of non-state actors who are also part of this grand coalition, the formal negotiations in this room will be conducted by our chief negotiator, Ambassador Nazhat Shamim Khan. We are not only bringing our Fijian Bula spirit to bond with our cultural performances, we hope to infuse these negotiations with the Pacific Talanoa spirit of understanding and respect. Because the only way for every nation to put itself first is to lock arms with all other nations and move forward together. Talanoa helps us to understand that essential truth. And I'm very gratified that so many of you have begun referring to the Talanoa dialogue as the best way to raise ambition and accelerate our response to this challenge. I also appeal for for a lot more resolve to assist the more vulnerable to adapt to climate change. And as President of COP23, we are launching an ocean pathway to ensure the ocean is an integral part of our UNFCCC process by 2020. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, this is our moment of truth, when all of us in this room will be tested. We must not be found wanting. We are all in the same canoe, which is why we have Ndrua, a Fijian ocean-going canoe, in the foyer, to remind us of our duty to fill its sail with a collective determination to achieve our mission. So let's make the hard decisions that have to be made for the sake of ourselves and the generations to come. Let's use the next 2 weeks to get the job done. Thank you. God bless you all.